doing today? I hope amazing. I'm going to get chat up real quick. Today we're going to be hunting Harbingers. It's one of the planet Calypso robot mobs. It's actually a pretty impressive mob. I'm going to have to tell you, I didn't know about this mob until just the other day. And then Dissy and his friends were on the thing, and I'll share the link to that real quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about. They've got like a little hunt group right here. Copy channel link, and I'll give it to you guys real quick. In which Dissy and them often are out there hunting things as a group. They do a lot of group hunting. They had a grip of people out there hunting them, so they could take them down with low-level weaponry, which is pretty impressive. Overall, I would have to say, guys, this is a pretty freaking cool mob. If you guys don't know about the Disney channel, it's actually a pretty good channel to have. They're active as crap, and they're often doing a random kill this mission. For today, I'm going to make us a LR35 for this hunt that I'm doing right now, and we'll kit up. I burnt through my other rifle just the other day, and so let's get us a LR35 up. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't, guys. Okay, there's our 3.5 up. Probably could make another, but let's not right now. Okay, I'm going to kit my 3.5, and then we'll go find our mob. Real quick, I'm going to be putting a Shiznit 2000 on our Elcar Precision Scope. Then I'm going to drop another 2000 onto that. And then the other weapon mod I'm going to be using is a 20BL amplifier. Has an 85% efficiency. All in all, I'll check our efficiency real quick for our weapon. 68.8, that's not horrible. Let's drop our weapon onto our sheet. Looks like we're good. Want to make sure we don't have a whole bunch of stuff on us. Yeah, I always have a bunch of stuff. That's from the gun we just made, the kickback. Hold on. I've got to sort through those, so I've got to sort through our inventory. That'll be some other day. Okay, heading out. Hey, Chill Vibe, I hope you're having a great day. Um, so I'll discuss that. Right now, I'm waiting for the market to even out on those coins. I noticed that people are selling those for one ped. The thing is, a lot of those items require 50,000 coins. So if you think about that, that's basically equivalently saying that some of those items are $5,000 items. And my belief is, and this is just my belief, that they're not actually $5,000 items. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I've got to remember where exactly he was. I got to find the Harbingers now. And I think I might have flown too far because I'm pretty sure that they were south of that big volcano with the destroyer robots and stuff, but we'll have to check it out. Man, it is hot. Um, I don't think that they're $5,000 items. I think that it'll depend on things. I think that they don't have it the way that they want it yet. To be honest, I'm going to just be honest with you guys. I feel that the drop rate on those coins isn't sufficient enough. Now, there are probably a few people in this game that have a ton of money that don't care that they're that expensive because money is not an object. But for the majority of players, I do think that money is an object. Let me look at where we are. Pretty sure I'm wanting to go this way. I might have to ask Dissy where the Harbingers are, just to be honest, because I don't hunt them normally. I know that they were over this way. They seem like an amazing mob, though. Let's look. There's prototype drones all over the place right here. Those are low level, third level. Yeah, see, and that's what I'm saying is It wouldn't shock me. That's a Legionnaire. So there's a lot of robots over here deployed, you guys, from Harbingers to Legionnaires to every other random thing you can imagine, basically. Let me ask Dissy real quick, just so I don't waste a lot of our time. Ooh, let's look at what this guy is. That Vanguard is cool as crap looking. Troopers, Legionnaires. Hey Avalonus, how you doing, man? So my theory on it is it depends on what your budget is. If you have a $10,000 a year budget, those look like impressive items. And so I'm not going to talk smack about the items looked good. The thing that bugged me is for the average player, the items being 5,000 something dollars in value. There's the big bulk right there next to a Harbinger, or not a Harbinger, a Vanguard. Because Vanguard robots are beasts, guys. I'm gonna have to. Okay, boom. Thank gosh. Okay, there it is. Let me double check. Oh, let me land. I'm gonna just poof myself there. I didn't realize where we're at. Let me make sure I don't land on. I don't want to be landing on one of those big dang robots. I think one of those would one shot me back to reality right here. Just to be honest, guys. Depending on how pick up. Okay. That's the other thing about that Dissy channel, you guys. It's super handy for if you guys are like, oh, nice HOF. Oh, I'm gonna have to jump twice. This is way away, guys. One jump. I think that it's a super cool mob. I won't even argue about that. Good thing we didn't jump into something. Dissy's channel is a great resource if you're just looking for being able to ask random questions about where's this mob, where's that mob. Ready? Poof! I could be popping into the center of a bunch of them. Oh good, we didn't. We popped into right between two groups. Okay, so there are whole crap loads of these little deployment nodes. One guy called them pods. Whatever you're going to call them. I don't know what that is. It could be a pod. Here's the mob itself. I'll even get a scan on it. It's going to be a little bit hay violent. They do some damage. You do want to have armor. The other day I was watching Dissy and them just sat there, and they had about, I don't know, 10, 15 people. They were all using low-level weapons, and I'm going to let you know, they were taking them down before they got to them, but they were just open fire, standing in a line pretty much. They had a healer, so like some of them were getting to them, but basically they had a healer in the back of the group, and then they were just unloading on these things. And it looked like a really efficient little way to do it. I came and checked it out, and in all honesty, I was super impressed. But I'm going to get a scan on this guy real quick so we can see what his stats are. Okay, so boom, medium or health, large damage potential. They do hit pretty hard. 51 stamina, pretty good stats actually on this little guy. Um, More or less, it's a cool looking little. I almost think he's Frankenstein looking, to be honest. I'm doing a little bit of damage, but these are only LR35s upgraded with a amp on it, so I would expect me to get a global I don't know if that's a million percent true, but as you can see, he can shoot with that machine gun in his arm or whatever that is, that laser gun. But it seems like they like to get up close on you and hit you with that giant blade that they have. I think that's cool. I like neat mobs, you guys. If you're wondering where this area is, it's right here. And basically, boom, just go straight over, straight below. That ought to be close enough, you know what I mean? Let's look at where this is. Megavolt and below Corinth West. Okay? So that's an easy one to find. We'll be getting a bunch of kills. I definitely will codex a little bit. If any of you guys are bored, you're more than welcome to come and kill this. Thank you very much, Chill Vibe. I hope you're having a great day. I'm having a super smooth day, just to be honest. I've got my lemon lime water right now. We just busted out making this gun, so the cost on that was pretty cheap, right? Actually, we made everything that we're using to shoot things except the Shiznet laser sights. I bought them. I don't have a blueprint for Shiznet laser sights. I don't even know if there is a blueprint for it. That might be one of those items that gets dropped. I need to make myself some super cool ones. Hey, Cleo Jones, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day. I hope it's going smooth. But you see what I mean? This isn't a bad mob. It takes a second to get to you. It's not as fast as that one. Oh, geez, somebody just got a 6,940 something shared loot off of Sand King. There's 11 ped and robot buffers. That's pretty good ped. Plus some shrapnel. Think we're doing good here. Obviously, I hunted these the other day when I came out here to see what they were doing. As soon as they said they were hunting Harbingers, I'm like, well, I don't know what the crap that is. So then I had to fly out here and check it out. Then I had to test to make sure it was actually... I stream pretty often, so here's how my stream schedule goes. Monday morning right now, we're finishing out Diablo 4. After I'm done with Diablo 4, which is probably going to be pretty soon, that will be dedicated to trying to get our book done as fast as possible. And so then morning streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday will be book writing. On Monday evening, which is right now, type for me, I do Entropia, and on today is Thursday, I do Entropia. I'm from Colorado, which is in the United States, but it's its own area in the United States. So I just like to say I'm in Colorado. Because Colorado's kind of its own world inside of every places, you know, regionally. Like if I was from New Jersey, I would probably say I'm from New Jersey because New Jersey is not like the rest of the United States. It's New Jersey. I've never lived there, but all the people I've met from there are very much distinctly New Jersey-ish. And so Colorado, I feel, is similar in the same way. We like Mexican food and fun, going hiking, outdoorsiness. Basically, Colorado's a very chill place. Oh, yeah, yeah, you can redeem them. No, you can redeem them right now if you're willing to come to me especially. It won't even affect anything. Um, if you need me to come to you and you're somewhere on planet, it would be better if you waited till I was almost over. But in all honesty, if you want to shoot over here and grab it, you're good. That'll work. Ierson, I hope you're having a great day. Beta Boy, I hope you're having a great day. Um, in all honesty, I'm good with my logo and everything. I just take a picture of myself, and that's my logo. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but I I'm not that worried about logos as much as other people are. because I just don't worry about logos, just to be honest. But yeah, you're good claiming them right now. If it's something I need to grab out of my storage and make, though, let me know, okay? Which isn't very much, but I have a ton of. Oh, good. Let me look at this. RK25s. I don't have any of them on me, but I'll make them as soon as the stream is over. Let's see, 3 of them. You're good. I probably have 3 in storage right now. And if not, I have like the ability to make like 100 of them, which is kind of good. If you guys don't know, lemon water is great. Um, yeah, I don't need any investments. I'm already monetized on YouTube, Twitch, and everything, and none of that affects me. Just so you know. Like, I don't need any of that. But thank you very much for offering. Plus, on top of that, if I really needed that, um, Green Magi Labs, a company I'm involved with, has its own artists that do our packaging designs. And they're kind of a cartoon type artist already. Is that you? Baby Beta Boy, was that you that just sent? Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know, because sometimes I don't know who people are. There's a tween token, you guys, right there. I'm having a super... I even have some bubble gum. Ooh, I'll show you what kind of bubble gum I have. Hold on 1 second. This will probably not be exciting to you guys. Maybe it will. Well, it's the bubble gum that's in a big pink package. Bubble yum. And I haven't had bubble yum for a long time. Okay, let me look at this. Bob's. Okay, let me track all this. Will you guys all send me things? And we'll take care of this as soon as I'm done today. I don't know if you guys have had bubble yum bubble gum in a long time. Basically, it's sugar and bubble gum. In my opinion, it's pretty good sugar and bubble gum, by the way. I don't have. Oh, send me a thing. Just send one right now. I'm gonna accept whatever you guys. If you guys send me a friend request, I'm gonna accept it. It's Donald Burndown Wilson. I'm pretty easy to find. I promise. Send me a friend thing. I'm gonna be accepting it for sure. I even go like this and watch this. Boom. And then we put that up on the side so I can track it. See? And then we got you. I have to fly back up to the space station later on and restock things too. That's like a always thing. I feel like restock our little space station store a lot. Like, more than I think I should have to. Not really, because it kind of justifies owning a space station store. If I wasn't having to restock it ever, it would be kind of like, why am I owning that thing? Don't you guys feel that this looks like a giant cyborg, like, Frankenstein monster? Frankenstein was the doctor, you guys, not the monster. The monster was Frankenstein's monster. It actually didn't ever, I don't think, officially get a name. But everybody always calls it Frankenstein, which is so weird, right? Or is Frankenstein really the monster in the situation, since what he did to that poor guy? Ooh, 46.8 pad, guys. That is not a global, but that is a pretty high non-global. That is as close to a global as you can get without getting a global. We're dominating. These guys are loving us. Oh, I'm about to get a... I like that guy. Dexterity. We're going to take dexterity. My dexterity's getting up there. I am almost Dritz Stewart style dexterity. Do you know, I don't know if you guys did Dungeons and Dragons when you were kids or even currently. Artis Misantreri actually I think had higher dex stats than Dritz Stewart. I mean I don't have their stats memorized offhand. They're Forgotten Realms type characters. But Artemis Centrari had pretty high dex. Like super high dex. Super cool character. Yeah, we're at 5,300. That's a Agrippa dex. There's another tween token. So these guys are pretty good for the tween tokens. Hey, I just saw myself on. Hey Bob, thank you very much. Is that you, Bob? Were you out here hunting with Dissy the other day? Just out of curiosity. That looked like you guys were having a super good time. He always sets up really good group hunts. Honestly, if you're a new person, you guys, you want to hunt bigger stuff, you guys should join Dissy's channel. For one, he gets enough people together that even if they're low level using TT guns, they're taking down things like this. Which I'm going to tell you, that changes things. Plus, they do an item split on ped and stuff. He has his own system for hunting, basically, and it's super impressive. Like he's better at organizing events than probably most of the people in this game. If the game was as good at organizing events as they are, um, it would be impressive. That's a cool little spinal thing. Look at this. I'm gonna have to kill this guy so we can make him fall on his face. Look at this spinal column thingamajiggy. Oh, I zoomed in a little bit too much. That's a freaking nice detail. This thing is cool as crap. I like it when the mobs have nice little details like that. That is a nice detail. I'm trying to figure out where my gum went. It's like a rolled package of gum. It's a gum dispenser. It's not mine actually. It's my daughter's gum. But I found it and I was like, man, I haven't had any of that for a long time. So then I decided to roll myself out some of it, throw it in my mouth. I was like, man, this is like pure sugar and flavor. 12. Yeah, this is a sweet mob. I like this mob already. We're flying up on it though. And this is a robot, which is mind-blowing. I mean, I get it. It's a like kind of a cyborg more than a robot, but you get a lot of robot parts though, really good ones. We're almost to the age of cyborgs in real life. Real soon we'll be getting those. That's exciting. I'm not sure I would become a cyborg necessarily, you know, but I do think it's neat that we'll be having them soon. I don't know what happened there. We just got a new damage profession level. Ooh. Don't want to waste ammo on that unreachable guy. I don't know what happened there. My gum's running out of flavor. I'm going to have to go toss it in the garbage real quick in a second. I could probably do it while this guy's running at me. I'll be right back. That was quick running. I got back before he died and got readjusted. Ooh, ooh. Oh, I just pissed 2 of them off. It's okay. We'll be okay. This is where we heal ourselves real quick. Ooh, that thing would jack you up. And it looks like it would give you tetanus. A little bit rusty. God, he's ugly. Ooh. Hey, let's aim. I kept on hitting the aim a little bit too far. You guys doing anything fun today? I hope so. I've had basically a super smooth day. I didn't get anything done much, but my relax level is like 9,000 right now. And so there's another tween. I'm telling you, we're killing the tween tokens. How many are we at? 3 so far. That's not horrible, that's not amazing, but it's reasonable. But with everything requiring 50,000 of them, I'd have to hunt for 10,000 days to earn an item. Yeah, 10,000 days, that's a lot of days, you guys. Well, maybe 10,000 days exaggerated, but a lot of days, a lot of days. I don't think that they're giving their tokens out at the right rate, just to be honest. We'll find out, though. You know, if something was really that much bigger than me, I would be intimidated by it. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, these dudes are some big dudes. Doesn't look that big about right there. Take about right here is where you start realizing, hey, that's a big dude. Right there. It's pretty obvious by the time it's up on you. Oh, I need to heal myself. Sometimes I get distracted with just visiting about stuff, and I forget to do the, hey, we should heal ourselves. Ooh, right here. By the way, there's tons of these pods, so if you're ever out here, you can just find your own area pretty quick. I didn't realize how many there were, and I started hunting on somebody else's pod area the other day, and they asked me like, hey, is there a reason you're hunting my pod with 36 other pods out here? Which I don't know if there's really 36 others, but they used a very specific number. I didn't decide to fly around and double check. And then I'm like, no, I actually didn't know that there were other pods. You know, like, yeah, there's a bunch. So then I told him, hey, I'm sorry about hunting on your pod. I didn't realize it was like that. Because, I don't know how that affects anything, honestly. I don't think it really does. But some people get very, hey, I would not like that. So I'm trying to be respectful. God, these dudes are huge. Honestly, I think a dude that big would just pin you down and cut your head off with that big old knife. They're just big. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here we got it. You can tell how if you just had 15 people with training guns, though, opening, firing squad on these guys, they wouldn't get to you very easy. Oh, nope, that's... I like these 17th level ones, I think. Oh, yeah, we're flying up coins. So for coins, these guys are good. And we're still looking at where we'd have to hunt these every day for 5,000 days, probably. There's another coin. I'm really liking them for coins, guys. A nice, pleasant mob, though. I just realized my aiming skill's not that high, though. I probably need to work on that. I never select aim as my reward. Probably should pick it once in a while. It's comparatively, I think, would... Over there, by the way, where that gravity distortion is, there's even bigger mobs that will kill you. I mean, maybe they won't kill all of you. Some of you guys could probably just jump right in there. I don't know what's going on in the FAP channel that people are reported. I'm gonna flip that off because they're angry at each other, and it seems like there's some kind of fight going on in the FAP channel. The FAP channel is not for fighting, you guys. The FAP channel is for finding people that are looking for healers or offering your services as a healer. And so, I don't know why there's a fight in the FAP channel, but I'm not an administrator on it, so I don't think it's my business to get involved either. There's a few channels that once in a while, man. I don't even have the rookie channel on purpose on my thing because people are so mean at each other. They're toxic. There's literally no reason to be mean at each other in a rookie channel. Um, and yet people are constantly saying horrible things at each other, and I literally don't get that. Like, it's a video game. It's probably not healthy for your soul to sit there just spending your day in a rookie channel talking smack at each other. I just don't even get that at all. I try to avoid that kind of stuff because it's super bad for you. It burns your energy. Oh, they're joking? Good, good. Joking's okay. I'm okay with joking. I just saw the reported something else, and I was like, well, I'm gonna click that off real quick. Joking, they can joke however they want. I didn't know. Glancing down, I couldn't tell. Oh, okay. That I get it then. That's a totally different situation. I wasn't sure what was going on there. Usually the FAP channel doesn't have any meanness going on in it, just to be honest. It's one of the more pleasant channels, and so it kind of just shocked me. I know that the channels that are toxic are like the new people channel, which honestly should be policed better than any other channel, because that's the channel where people literally need to be treated kind of with kid gloves because they don't know what they're doing. And in all honesty, all the time people are just in there saying just ridiculous stuff at each other, which I tell people all the time. Um, so there's some kind of Chinese proverb, right? I know. I like proverbs, but it basically says that hate is like drinking poison and expecting the other guy to die. It's serious. So like you're not going to affect somebody else with hate, but you are going to affect yourself. And I'm not like perfect. I get all butthurt about stuff too. But years ago, I realized that when I got pissed off about stuff, especially when it's just a big social media fight, that I burned a whole bunch of my energy uselessly. And it is uselessly fighting with people about things that don't matter, in which then you are burning up your own energy and resources in a way that does matter. And so I try not to do that at all because it is just ridiculous. But yeah, hate doesn't usually gain you anything. Even, I mean, like, there's things that you should hate, but there are things that are, like, unconscionable to the soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, if something's an actual moral outrage, then go ahead and hate that. Like, that's totally logical. But, like, hate, just to throw out hate, is absolutely a ton of your mojo, right? And it's wasteful. There's another little tween coin. You don't want to waste your mojo, you guys. Oh yeah, no, a lot of Chinese proverbs are super well thought. I heard a really I like proverbs, honestly. I think some of the things that like some of the Chinese philosophers, actually Greek philosophers too. I just like philosophers. I like a lot of them. Even though I always forget who to attribute each philosophy to, which is kind of funny. But I like listening to philosophers. There's some pretty crazy philosophers too. Some of those guys were not like wusses. They were just like super deep thinkers. Spent a lot of their time doing Greek stuff and ancient Chinese stuff and thinking about what to tell people in an argument, I guess. Yeah, I wish I could remember who to credit with that. But a guy that's much more well thought on the subject than I am. So, it took me years to realize that I was wasting mojo fighting with people about dumb stuff. Because I literally am the guy that was Like years ago, I would sit there online back and forth for like 2, 3 days to win an argument with somebody I didn't know on a subject that didn't matter. Total waste of mojo. Now I try to keep my mojo and not just waste it on things. You know what I mean? You only have so much energy. And you might as well spend it in ways that return. And fighting with somebody, never a return on that. Well, I'm not going to say never, but rarely. There's probably some guy out there that's like, nah, I had an argument with this guy once and it ended up really well for the rest of my life because of some. I don't know how that happened, but I'll concede that the universe is funny. It probably has an example of anything you could say never happens. The universe is awesome like that. You know that? Like one of the funniest, most complicated things. The cosmos. Let's not even call it the Hey, thank you very much for lurking. I hope you're having a great day, Elysian. My daughter keeps sneaking out here because she didn't feel good, so she's home not feeling good. And she has no ability to not come out and get waved at every few seconds. Which I don't mind because it always makes my day slightly better. But she likes to double check that we're still doing stuff. We're tearing through these guys. I'm about to codex again. Had to see how much ammo we could convert over to. I can see how Dissy's such a high level on this mob. This is a super chill mob, you guys. I like a lot of the robots. The robot mobs seem to be like, psh, great way to spend your time. Got some robot buffers. I don't know what I use those for, but psh, something I'm sure. I like to monitor how fast we're burning through gear too. There's another tween. I'm gonna end up with like 10 tween tokens in like 1 hour. That's pretty impressive. I don't know what that means we could do. Like 80 a day if we were really seriously like hunting all day, I guess. I've been kind of trying to pay attention to which mobs were getting a better outflow of tween tokens. Even though I think the amount that they put that you need to save up is just ridiculous, to be honest. But, you know, somebody'll do it, so. I assume we're going to get a global here soon. There's 12 ped, but you never know when we're going to get a global. What did we just do now? 25th level gunner. I haven't mothership gunned for like months. In fact, the last time I went up on a mothership at least was 6 months ago. And then I shot the crap out of some stuff. That's always expensive though. You've got to have like just a crap ton of ped to just decide to go up mothership gunning all day. Super fun to do, super expensive. Okay. Gonna go with perception on this one. And then we'll see how many points we're getting per kill. I'm starting to really like this little mob. There's another tween. So I think that they should put this mob and some of the other mobs into some kind of mission that has a backstory. Like an instance. Yeah, I need to own an instance, you guys. I think instances cost a bunch, but this is one of the mobs I'd probably want to have in my instance. I'm going to convert this real quick so we ammo up. I'd like to design an instance. Has like some security control rooms and stuff like that, but I want it to be a space instance, like a derelict ship that appears above a planet. And it would have so many spaceships that you had to shoot down before you could enter. So like, you'd have to shoot down like a bunch of fighter craft. And as soon as the fighter craft were down, you'd have to shoot open the cargo bay doors. Then you would land in the cargo bay doors. And there'd be some primary missions, right? Like take out the engineering and stuff like that, and there would be a arms room and stuff like that, in which the only loots you're gonna get out of the arms room once you grab the chest in the arms room are guns. Hey Kilman, how you doing? And then like after that, you'd have to go to like the command center, and you'd get to kill some commanders and stuff like that. And basically there'd be a chance, I don't know. I would like a well-written instance, but it would be a space instance. But it would randomly appear above any of the planets, so you don't know what planet's going to be over. And so each week it would appear above another planet, or maybe daily. After it blows up, it would just appear somewhere else. Yeah. But it would be a freaking hard instance, you guys. It would require you to have an armed ship to shoot down the fighters and to take out the guns on it, to blow up the cargo bay door, and then you'd land. You'd go in, you'd have to get in a firefight. I'd probably put wussy robots in the cargo bay. Down the hallways, maybe these dudes would come to life. Maybe a bunch of them. I don't know. It'd have to have several levels of how hard this baby could be. But basically, it'd be a bunch of robots and stuff. It'd be hard. Yeah, it'd be a good instance. But you don't have to own an instance key. You just have to activate the instance by engaging the external things. I don't know. I'd have to figure out how to do it exactly. I don't have enough money to buy an instance from Entropia. But because well, I probably do have enough money. But I would have to be able to justify it. And I'd have to have a clue how much an instance actually costs to buy. You know what I mean? That's a later on. Maybe next year we'll look into that. Big space instance. Don't you guys feel there should be an instance in space somewhere? Like besides just the shoot down the ships instance? Like one where you get aboard a ship and kill a bunch of stuff in a big old shootout with your friends? That makes sense and you could get some unique gear? I think we should get some unique gear out of it. Including there should be an R&D section that has a chance of getting unique blueprints. Like for ships and space weapons. Including, what you call those? Zero grav gear. Like, a space exoskeleton of some kind. I can't remember what they call those. Exosuits? It's very underutilized. 100%. They could put so much cooler stuff in space. For one, every planet should have a planetary defense mission broker, and every planet should have above it a enemy faction. Like where you can take a mission to like go and shoot down so many fighters or hunt down certain people in space, not people necessarily, but like say like a black epsilon group, like a fighter squadron, and you should be able to earn cool looking like officer gear, like cool clothes and stuff like that, access to further missions and things. Um, I think that above every planet, though, there should be that planet's faction of planetary defense forces, and on every other planet, there should be an enemy faction that's like, hey, we want you to go shoot down so many of this group's fighters. I also think that they need bigger ships. So, like, there should be battleships in space that aren't player owned, that are faction aligned, so that if John Black Knight and his posse, want to go and pick to be on a faction, they can be on that faction, and then they can go and shoot down some giant faction aircraft. But there should be some serious stuff in space. I honestly, space should be its own developmental thing. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be really worked. I would like them to work space a lot more than they have. In fact, if they need help on space development, I'd be more than glad to give them a list of things they could fix about it. Like a giant list of things. Because space could be cool as heck in this game. Just absolutely like. I'm not saying it's not cool, it's kind of. I mean, it's space, but there's nothing way neat about it. You know what I'm saying? Be way neater if there was some actual excitement to space. You could bring some super good excitement to space too, by the way. You know what would be neat? A faction of space people that keep on invading this solar system that are dolphin people, right? I know that sounds horrible. So dolphins are probably smart anyway, or cephalopods. But then they have like a wet ship and so when you blow it up, it pops like a water balloon in space. I don't know why. It's very linear, which space isn't like that. Yeah, space is fascinating, actually. Do you know that in reality, though, we don't understand space very much as a society? Like, do you guys know about the Kuiper Belt just past Mars? So, planets orbit the sun. So, do you know that there are spatial bodies that are as big as a planet, but they don't orbit the sun, and so they're not a planet? They're a Kuiper object. So there's a whole list of Kuiper objects that are actually super big, including things that are the size of planets that are made up of frozen gases and well, they're not frozen gases, obviously, because they're frozen, but solidified things that in our atmosphere at our temperature would be a gas. Pluto, Pluto's neat, but Pluto's little. So seriously, there's a whole bunch of what they call Kuiper planetoid objects. They're not actually planets because they don't orbit the sun, and they're just in the Kuiper belt. But there's a list of them. Pluto is no longer a planet, yes, but it's not a Kuiper object either. So the Kuiper belt was is a composition of a destroyed super planet actually that was almost the size of what would be what we you need to make a sun that got torn to pieces because of gravitational forces and a whole bunch of other kinds of things. So the Kuiper belt itself is a huge thing. But within the Kuiper belt, there are planetoid type objects that are called the Kuiper objects. Hold on one second. I'll Google it for us. Yeah, so here, one second, I'm going to have the Kuiper belt planetary. Basically, they're bigger than Pluto in most cases. And most people would not know about these because for some reason we don't talk about them because we focus on only the planets in our solar system because we're very. So these are all different things. This is Pluto. See, Dysnomia, which is in the Kuiper Belt, is just as big. Do you see what I'm saying? And so these things are all in the Kuiper Belt. These are objects that are not planets because they don't circle the sun. So the Kuiper Belt is this giant belt system in which yes, Pluto shoots through there And technically, it probably could be considered, but it circles the sun. So it's not a Kuiper belt object, but these guys are. So I don't remember which ones are composed of which things, but basically the Kuiper belt has a lot of different. So everybody thinks that there's only so many planets that we could settle on in our system, but in reality, that's not true. There's a whole bunch of Kuiper objects, right, that nobody even thinks about putting a station on or colonizing because they would be complicated to colonize. They're super frozen. One of them is basically frozen rocket fuel. I'm serious. It's like a complicated chemical compound. The whole thing is a highly flammable chemical compound. Uh, I can't remember what compound it is, but it's basically a rocket fuel. Uh, Besides that, there's ones that are like basically water and stuff like that. But there's a complicated mix of non-planet bodies in our solar system that we don't even talk about. And for some reason, everybody pretends they don't exist. We pretend that there's planets and moons, and then a bunch of empty space. And in reality, there's a whole lot of non-planetoid objects that are much bigger than the size of Texas that are just floating around out there. They don't circle the sun. They're just a giant body in which there's so many of them that we haven't actually, we don't even have the data on all of them yet. And in all honesty, you could set up a base on an object the size of Texas that's just setting out there between us and Mars easier than you could set up a space station somewhere else. I'm not saying that we're about to do that, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't know about how many actual bodies that there are out there. It's absolutely impressive. Space is much more complicated than people think. And for some reason in our education system, we like to simplify space to the amount that it's absolutely not correct. Do you guys know about the Lewis dot structure for atomic structures? It's absolutely also not correct. I'm not trying to down on anybody's science classes and stuff like that. But there's what they call the VESP dispersion system, which is basically where you look at atomic structures as well, you look at them as energy fields in which an electron is everywhere that it is not. Instead of in the Lewis dot structure, electrons are on the quantum um, rings in which the quantum falling and stuff like that, the quantum mechanics of electrons is an accurate kind of explanation a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, um, the Lewis dot structure is taught because it's the easiest way for a person to be able to conceptualize atomic masses. It's absolutely not actually accurate though. It's just the easiest way to conceptualize something. And I think the way we teach planetary bodies and stuff like that is the kind of the same thing, where it's not actually accurate, but it's really easy for people to conceptualize 8 planets and some moons and some other stuff. In which, if then they had to conceptualize this huge, complicated sea of stuff, like space having like a whole bunch of random stuff all over the place, in which it's much more like a dust cloud with large particles and small particles and not as empty as people think. I think that all of a sudden gets confusing to people. And so for maybe not, maybe they make it super simple for other reasons. I better kill myself. You guys see how that happens? This is how I get myself killed. But yeah, if you guys have ever, and that's what they like to teach people with, is things that are easy to conceptualize instead of accurate. which I'm for things being easy to conceptualize for people. But at the same time, they should tell people, look, this is a simplified version of reality. This isn't actually how it works. We're doing this because this is going to be the easiest thing for you to conceptualize at this point of understanding. Would be much more accurate. And for some reason, instead of just being honest with people and saying, hey, we're teaching you this incorrectly for the benefit of ease of understanding, they teach people that it's how it works, which isn't true. It just isn't. And then they don't get into a lot of things like quantum entanglement and stuff like that is purposely avoided in almost all subject matters. Why? I don't know. Because, like, I think it's because it shatters that whole concept that things are isolated, real, and stuff. And I'm not saying that they're unreal, but things are not relative and real at the same time because it's just not how it works. I mean, they're real because things are real, right? But what is real, and obviously if quantum entanglement and you can affect the spin on an atomic structure and affect the spin on another atomic structure, then they're not isolated, for sure. Does that make sense? I'm not going to say how it does work because I'm not saying I even understand how it works because I don't think anybody really does right now, just to be honest. I think that we're mathematically not at the point of understanding, or not even mathematically, just our overall everything is not at the point that we understand how things work. That's why we don't want aliens to come. They would already understand how it works. And boy, would we be in trouble because they would have much more advanced technology than us. Much more. Do you guys know that we're like a PL5 society or something like that? And by the time you're a PL8 society, you can fold space. I'm going to let you guys know the second somebody can fold space, they don't even have to go to war with you. They can just win. They like literally would just win. It would be kind of a comical situation in which we're so much behind that it'd be worse than like the level of difference in technology that we had with our cannons against the natives that didn't have cannons. Like if we think that there was a dispersion of inequality of technology when we came and landed on America, we have no clue what the difference in technology would be from a society that's at actual, like, yeah, if they're folding space and stuff, if they even have gravimetric technology, they're actually so far beyond our comprehension that we would not want to mess with that. We'd want to make peace, for sure. I find that stuff fascinating. Obviously, I drink too much coffee and have too much time on my hands. I'm just joking. I don't have too much time on my hands. I just do drink a lot of coffee. And I love space. And the cosmos. I'm going to shoot through another tier of these guys. And I'm going to end up having to call it early. Most, I'm going to get through this last one of this. I'm noticing my daughter's, hey, how much she needs attention is higher than normal. Which is okay. I like giving her attention. She's pretty cool. Super cool, actually. Am I overweight or something? I feel that we're moving slow. And I'll show you guys the anomaly too. No, warp drive is not the same thing. Warp drive and folding space are totally not the same thing, you guys. So space curves. And when you fold space, it's like if I'm here and I fold space literally like that, and without moving, I then release and unfold space and I'm here. Warp drives you have to travel. And and in most cases, warp is not actually a drive. So warp is accomplished in most theories through what they consider a spatial warp compression field, in which you're not actually um, what happens is you're not actually creating a warp drive. What you're doing is you're warping the amount of space in front of you, right? So imagine if I could compress this much space into this much space so that every inch I move forward, because I've compressed the amount of space in front of my ship, I'm actually moving forward through 2 to 3 times the amount, right? This allows you to not have to go as fast. So like you could move further, so light speed, right? So this gets complicated. Say you could get 80% of light speed, right? So that's pretty fast. But say then you could generate a warp compression field in front of your ship in which you're compressing the amount of space by uh, basically you're cutting it in half. If you're at 80% of light speed, now you're going to travel through the same distance of 1.6 light speed, even though you actually have never breached light speed. You know the mathematical equation for the amount of energy you need as it exponentially curves as you approach light speed, right? So if you can compress the amount of distance in front of you, you're able to move through that distance without having to. It's basically a balance. So all of those are different forms of travel. A guy that's folding space is well above warp drives. Warp warp is a compression field, though. It's not actually. I mean, like, I get in sci-fis they have it as a drive always, but look up the fundamentals of warp compression fields in which they already understand the basic theoretics on them. We don't have the technology, but we're approaching warp compression fields currently. I mean, like, we're not at them, so we're not about to have a ship that has the ability to do a warp compression field. But you can understand how if you can get to 70% of light speed, but you can warp compression field a random percent, you can equivalently be traveling distances that are basically the same as you traveling at light speed, even though you're not. Like, you're not actually traveling at light speed, but you're traveling through more material, so it's kind of confusing. So some people would say, well, if you're traveling that distance at that speed, then you are. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to get into the semantics of it, but the amount of, of a place that can fold space can literally use gravity itself and other things to warp and fold space over in a way that we can't comprehend basically that much. But If you fold space, you don't actually move. You don't move at all. Space moves around you, and you are just where you are. So, like, we have no ability to deal with a society that can fold space. Will automatically defeat us. They can destroy us without any ability for us to do anything. We are so far below that, we are not anywhere near it. Like, just so you guys know, we're further away from that than a caveman sparking a rock against a rock to make fire is closer to us technologically than us to a warp compression field. Well, maybe not the warp compression field. Folding space for sure. We've shot a bunch of stuff. We talked about the difference between folding space, a warp compression field, and other means of travel. You know what we are at right now, though? We're at hot plasma ion thrusters. Those are pretty fast. Those go super fast. So we have ion engines right now. There's a company over in Japan that currently has the best ion propulsion engine system. I mean, it's not on anything right now, I don't think. But a hot plasma ion propulsion system is super fast for our relative understanding. In fact, I'll look it up. We'll find out how fast the hot ion. Hold on one second. Okay, boom. I'm gonna have to kill this guy or he'll kill me. And then we'll look at it. It's possible to fold space. So, space only appears to be flat no matter what. For sure you can fold space. Planets warp space with their bodies. The amount of gravimetric energy around a supernova or a large body already folds space with the curvature of space. Okay? So the amount of energy needed to do it would require you to have a super Dyson structure. Just so you guys know. Like, it's the you would have to have literally a superstructure that was around almost a binary suns, in which the suns themselves are nothing more than a generator within the system. And so it would be capturing, it's beyond us. We're not there. We're not there. It's not even funny. But I'll show you so a plasma propulsion engine uses an electromagnetic field to accelerate a electronic charged ion. So these already exist, by the way. In fact, there's a Japanese company that already has a pretty effective one that will be used on it'll be used to push a satellite out, that satellite will then get up to this speed right now. So 320,000 kp's per hour is very fast. These are super powerful. Here's the problem. They have almost no thrust force. So the amount of force that they have is almost enough to, like, a couple pieces of paper is almost too heavy. But see, once you're in space free of gravity restrictions, then that doesn't matter as much. Does that make sense? But we've already got ion propulsion being developed here currently on our planet, which is a giant jump for us. Like, for humans, it's a big deal. Now, the thing is, though, for other species, it's not probably that big of a deal. Like, they probably already have hot plasma ion propulsion, but um, folding space is possible by a PL8 or above civilization. The thing is, PL8 civilizations are no longer planetary bound civilizations. That requires you to have a super Dyson structure, which is basically would be more population than our whole solar system will one day have in a superstructure that's around a twin-bodied star system. Yeah, but I get the debate about it because we're not at the system. But think about if you have two star systems circling each other, and then you have a body, a structural body that's around that, and those two star systems are literally just rotating like boom, boom, and you take and you're harnessing all of that gravimetric energy and all of the energy that's produced from that. That then folds or curves the space around your superstructure. Oh, we have nothing. No, humans can't. We're not. So we would have to have technology beyond our comprehension to do it. That's the thing. Even the structures itself to start building that kind of structure are beyond us. And in all honesty, a civilization that has that, do you guys realize how much material that is, right? It's a lot of material. To just be able to put a Dyson ring around a single sun system to where it's harnessing that is more material than in our whole solar system almost. Does that make sense? So if a civilization has a super Dyson structure around a twin-bodied star system, they've probably ate whole star systems. Like, they're not gonna, there'd be a predator system. Does that make sense? It wouldn't necessarily be a peaceful system. We can't do it. So if they're arguing that humans can't, I agree. We can't right now, for sure. We would be dependent on, not only is the amount of materials beyond our comprehension, like it's every planet in our solar system and other solar systems being torn to pieces and having to be devoted to the purpose of creating a superstructure that we don't even have the technology to create. Oh, it's sustainable to have it. Um, because once you have it up and going, you have an atomic creation mechanism where you can create matter. The thing is, though, that they would probably need more fuel. Everything they're gonna do is gonna burn stuff up. So it's not a perpetual motion machine because suns themselves burn out. Suns themselves die. And so they'll have to eat other systems. Like, there's no sun. So do you guys know that when our sun dies, the heaviest material it will create is iron? So everything that's above iron on our planet comes from the destruction of a once great sun that was above the power of the sun that we have. So suns live and die, and the more taxing situation they're in, the faster they're going to burn out their energy. And so when they go and they use that and harness that energy to fold space or for whatever they're using it for, they're going to be burning some of that energy. And so what's going to end up happening is they're going to come for more energy. And I mean they might pick civilizations that are not, I mean, like not civilized areas, like this is all theory, you guys. All of this is theory. For the record, nobody knows what those civilizations would look like, and the problems that we can guess that they would have might not be a real problem for them because they're so much more advanced than us that we have no comprehension of what they might have already solved. So I can say, from what I understand, which is so not anywhere near enough to understand that kind of civilization, they would need further energy later on down the road. That energy would have to be a mass amounts. It wouldn't be little amounts. And they would likely eat. Yeah, they might pick dead ones. They could totally. They could pick dead areas. That's what I think too. No, there's no 100% guarantee they exist at all, you guys. 100% there is no guarantee that that exists. But the potential for it to exist is there. The thing is, though, any civilization that does get to that point would be immensely more powerful than us. Not even a little bit. Like, if you're folding space, you're at a different level. That's not a normal civilization. That's not even a civilization that we comprehend really. Like our sci-fis don't even get into that really because it's that far above what we're at. But there is no guarantee that something like that exists. If it does exist, we wouldn't know anyway because anything with that kind of level of technology can for sure hide itself from us and would have no benefit from making contact with us. Like we would be like, I don't even know what we'd be like compared to them. But they wouldn't be like us. They would have already likely took advantage of all the technological adaptations of cybernetics and genetic modification. They would already have probably seen more of everything than us by far. I mean, there's not really a reason for a species like that to make contact with us. Like, what would they gain from us? You know what I'm saying? Like, we really aren't that impressive. We're cool, but if there's a civilization out there that has a superstructure around two suns and can fold space, it definitely isn't going to, like, unless it's like, oh, we really like how primitive their thinking is for some reason. I mean, and maybe, but why? I love sci-fi. Oh, do you guys know about the guy that wrote Shadowrun? He nailed it. He nailed it down to drones and everything. Like, no crap, back in the old days. Like, there's a lot of people that have been very accurate at pegging what things would end up being like. Sci-fi is a fascinating thing because it ends up being really, honestly, almost like a roadmap for where we're going in many cases. I love sci-fi, though. I love everything. Honestly, I just like stuff. Oh, Shadowrun's crazy. It's a game that came out a long time ago, and basically all the stuff that we have right now is predicted in it, you guys. Including further. Plus some stuff that's just crazy. Okay, there we are. I'm going to claim these real quick. I think we did pretty good. We're still trying to get to that 100 intelligence, guys. 96. It's taken forever. Oh, Neiman Marcus had a flying car, you guys. There's flying cars. They're just not on the road. Or they wouldn't be on the road anyway. But Neiman, you can Google Neiman Marcus's flying car. They sold one for a really lot of money to rich people out of one of their magazines years ago. I'll show you this anomaly area real quick before we shoot over to somebody else. This is a fascinating area. It's a great place to get killed. If you go inside the anomaly, it'll destat you a bunch. It actually gimps you, just so you guys know. I'll show you. We'll get our gimps real quick. This is a spatial anomaly. There's a bunch of big warrior robots out here. Oh, he's gonna want to kill me. I'm not trying to fight warrior robots right this second. I was just trying to get inside the anomaly to show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm gonna revive myself. I don't care. No, I get you. Flying cars are annoying for a lot of reasons. But Neiman Marcus has a flying car. Oh, I killed myself by tapping. Basically, if you go into this anomaly, they'll hit you with a bunch of degens, or what would you call them? Well, basically, they gimp you because inside of there is a gravity distortion. And that gravity distortion kind of messes you over, just so you guys know. You don't want to go in there necessarily unless you have a reason anyway, just for the record. Oh, is that somebody's thing or is that just sitting there? It's just sitting there. Yeah. I've never revived right there. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to make sure to get everybody's stuff. Anybody that has just used their points, I'll meet you. So just message me and stuff. Uh, I'm gonna take care of that real quick, and then I'm gonna go back to making sure, to see what my daughter needs and stuff like that. Basically, we'll go right here so I can get everything made. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna find somebody that we can raid onto. How did I not set this up? Ah, I didn't even have our thing set up to be able to raid people. It's kind of shocking. Boom. Got stream manager up. Got it. Okay, let me look over this. Bunker 3 raided me last time. I'm going to see if Bunker 3's on. Okay, who all's on? Any of you guys streaming? Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me see what was said. Oh, Bob, I'm at what is it called? Athena Spaceport? Yeah, Athena Spaceport. But I'll come to you. Yeah, you have 30 days to claim the reward. For sure. Okay, not a problem. You guys are good. I'll watch out for you. I like literally make sure to get everybody taken care of. I'm seeing who this is. I don't know this dude, but I'm gonna raid over to them because I've never raided them before. Seems like that they are doing stuff, so that's always a good sign. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Peace and very best wishes, and I hope you guys have a great day.